Having been in the eye of a hurricane before, it's a pretty exciting place to be. And I just hope that if there is anybody still in Port Mansfield, that everything's going to go okay for them, because that place is going to take a pretty big hit, it looks like.
What about when you were driving, Richard? Was your truck moving a lot with the wind? I know sometimes 30-mile-per-hour winds.
Yeah, you know, I called you as soon as I was leaving Port Mansfield, and I have a pretty big truck, a Suburban, and it was rocking side to side as I was coming. The rain was coming down so hard that it was very, very difficult to see. And that, of course, was a couple hours ago, so I'm sure it's even worse there now, but conditions were very, very difficult.
Now, Richard, you're standing outside our studios right now. Folks in McAllen are wondering, what's going on? What do you see up in the skies right now?
Well, you know, as I look around, it doesn't really look that bad. It's not that dark, and yet, having been to Port Mansfield and seen what was there, I have a feeling that there's some pretty serious weather in store for us here. But it has picked up considerably here since I've been back to the Harlingen area, and I'm sure the entire valley is going to be affected more in the future with this, as it apparently is coming in.
Well, Richard, you told me a couple of hours ago as we visited about this storm system that you've covered hurricanes before, and just like you're standing outside Harlingen and you see those clouds with moisture in them, you said all of a sudden it can just hit you.
It certainly can, and this has been a crazy storm, hasn't it? I know Larry's seen so many hurricanes, and he told us all to keep an eye on this storm because it might surprise us, and it really has, and it may not be through with its surprises yet.
All right, Richard, we appreciate your live report from outside our studios and your drive to Port Mansfield. Don't think I would want to take behind the wheel right now.
Yes.
to head over in that area. We do have a crew over in Raymondville, though. We'll get with them in a little bit and see how Roxanne is doing.
Yeah, Roxanne is over there, and she's going to bring us a report in just a little bit. But let's go out to Port Isabel right now.
Okay, Jenny Davis standing by live.
We are live here in Port Isabel, right off the causeway. We are at the deep sea fishing tier. Me and my colleague Dave Johnson. We have been talking to some officials around here. Dave's going to brief you in just a minute, but just take a look behind us. This is what we're seeing right now. It's the same wind, the same rain, and it continues to intensify. It is not letting up at all. But just to give you guys an idea of what South Padre Island looks like, I'm going to hand it over to Dave Johnson because he just recently spoke with some people over there. Dave?
That's right. There are several Department of Public Safety troopers who have made their cursory tour of Padre Island Boulevard. They tell us they haven't seen any structural damage, but there have been a number of signs that are down. Several of the more prominent restaurants and business establishments over that 2-mile causeway directly off to our left have been down on the road. There are some street lights that are out. Of course, they have turned off most of the power on the island, but there are still some sporadic power on. We believe those are coming from power generators, but South Padre Island this Sunday afternoon is virtually a ghost town, as well as it should be in this pea soup that we're in.
That's exactly right, Dave. And what they continue to tell us is that they are pretty sure that this is going to remain under a mandatory evacuation up until probably the morning, but they're still not sure. They don't want to speak just yet, but they're saying there's probably no way they're going to let people onto the island right now with the weather that we're seeing right now. And it continues to get worse. Since you've been out here, you've seen it as well.
Certainly, and we keep in mind this storm is not even hit yet. We're still several hours away. We're still going to get more, as I'm sure the meteorologists will tell you. But you know, we haven't seen the worst of it yet. This is the bottom line.
And Dave, as you were coming in, I'm sure you saw Port Isabel is the same way. Lots of signs knocked down as well here.
We were coming in last night, and there were some sporadic businesses open. We were able to go over and get a quick cup of coffee last night, but now there's nothing.
Yep.
I mean, nothing.
Yep.
I mean,
Circle K.
The streets are dead. Everything is dead. There's nothing out there.
Circle K, Dairy Queen, they're all closed up. In fact, we were told the Dairy Queen over there is completely, the sign is torn down, but they're not seeing a lot of flooding over there, so that's good news, but they are seeing a little bit of debris, which is obviously going to happen when you're seeing winds like we are, and it comes in and out. It intensifies for a little while, and then it dies down, so we really just have no idea what to expect, but can't imagine it's going to get any better.
And keep in mind the elevation on that bridge. That's the particular reason why the Department of Public Safety doesn't let you drive over that bridge when the winds start to get up, and it's starting to blow us off a little bit off our mark now. So we're going to toss it to you back in the studio.
Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Jenny and Dave. We did talk to someone who's still out at the island, and
yeah, it's kind of unbelievable. They asked for people to leave, and yet there is someone out there who
you
decided...
seemed even unbelievable when I said that.
I can't believe that someone would stay on the island after all the warnings to leave the island, and you know, we didn't get a direct hit from the hurricane, and we still can get some more effects from this hurricane, but there is someone out there.
Well, this resident agreed to talk to us. Bill Stevenson, are you on the line?
Yes, ma'am.
What's going on out there? Why did you decide to stay?
Well, everything I own is here, so I thought I'd stay and protect it as best as I could.
Are you a business owner? Do you have some property out there that you're trying to keep secure?
I'm a resident. I don't own any business, but I am a resident.
Well, what have you seen over the past 24 hours? I'm sure there's been some high winds and some heavy rain, so tell us a little bit about what you've seen over the past 24 hours.
I've been through about 6 hurricanes before, and not here, but in various other parts of the country and overseas.